Ducky coming at you with another division video. This is my all gold exotic 1v1 build, the build I'd use in the last stand, the build I'd use in the DZ on a daily basis. I'm going to tell you why it's my favorite build and what exactly it does. These are a little 2v1 that I did to show you how good it really is before I explain the build. And then there'll be a little bit more gameplay at the end. 3 exotics and 3 gold. Exotic gold high-end build with MP5 and a lightweight M4. Those are my favorite 2 guns, so those are the ones I chose to use, and I built the whole build around those 2 guns. Anyway, I run a Barrett's chest piece that has health. I put health in everything because I think it's the meta, and you want to put health in just about everything that you could, with a few exceptions, which I'll explain in a second. So I run health. I got health on kill. I would prefer to have skill haste. Skill haste is the second best stat in my opinion, other than exotic damage resilience, which is alright if you're getting hit by tons of seekers if you can stack it, but it's very hard to stack it, so it's not as useful. So I go with health and everything, and then you want to go with skill haste if you could. I have health on kill, that's okay. Then you go down to the Tenacious Mask. I got 989 armor on it, 4% crit chance. And the 4% crit chance, I feel like that on this and the holster for the DPS builds is the best way to go, rather than skill power or health or anything. It just really doesn't give you enough. I feel like the crit chance, if you stack it with the holster, you'll really feel the impact that it gives you. Especially when you don't run Savage Gloves, you pretty much get that 7% back from the holster and the mask. Anyway, it's tenacious, so when you pop the med kit, you get your the 10%. On top of the booster, the way I run it, and I'll explain it real quick. Is you pop the tenacious, then you pop the booster, then you look at your stats. You almost want to cry because they're so ungodly. I wish they would just stay like that forever. But yeah, that's the whole idea of the build. Then you see the numbers will keep declining down a little bit, but for a good 15-20 seconds, you are a monster. Anyway, after the Tenacious Mask, we go down to the short bow knee pads. The short bow knee pads aren't really the best for 1v1, but you can obviously do better. That's why I would have something else in, but they just look nicer for the video, so I just kept the all red and yellow in. But you might want to go with the most armor you got, the most health you got, and then the most firearms, electronics you have in either of the whatever knee pad you have, and that'd probably be your best choice for 1v1s because you don't need short bow knee pads, but I just keep them on. But anyway, with the short bow knee pads, you go with health because you get a ton of health out of the major stat. There's nothing else really worth it. And for the minor attributes, burn resistance, if you can stack it, it's alright because you're on fire a lot, and if you have 100% burn resistance, you really don't get caught on fire at all, which is awesome. The short bow knee pads, everyone knows why they're so OP. You throw a nade, they blow up instantly. It's pretty insanely stupid how they work. Boom! Pretty much anyone like this guy right here, headshot him. Boom! Well, not quite, but anyway, you guys get the gist of things. They blow up really quickly. But yeah, you want to put health on that for sure on the knee pads. The short bow knee pads are beautiful for 1v1s. Like I said, you could switch. Wait, come on, nade. Let me get into it. All right. Next up on the list, we got the specialized backpack. The specialized backpack. Obviously, I find it to be the most OP because there really isn't anything else to put there unless you're a skill build. For a DPS build, the specialized backpack is 100% the way to go because it's the only thing that really is any useful. It gives me 30k itself. Like if I take it off, it takes off quite a bit of my skill power. It takes me all the way down to 115. I put this thing back on. As you see it jump between the specialized and the Barrett chest piece proc, you see a 45k increase on skill power, which is pretty silly. Like I wanted to show you like that, where you see how it drops 24,000, and all the other backpacks really don't give you much unless you run a tactician build. But I run a DPS build. For a DPS build, you want to go 100% with the specialized backpack. 100% want to put health in there. And then ammo capacity or burn resistance. I like to put burn resistance on everything if I could. Next up on the list is the Skull MC gloves. Skull MC gloves are by far the most crucial part of the build. This is the one thing that you make sure you have if you're running an all gold exotic build, because this is what makes it so OP. You got the 16% extra damage, which is pretty much equivalent to uncomplicated in 1.5. You guys would know with the FAMAS and the Alpha Bridge. This is very similar to the same thing. When I show you guys my stats with the critical hit chance and my attachments, you'll understand what I mean, because after I pulse and get all my skills, I'm at 60% crit chance anyway, so you don't even need the Savage Gloves. That's why I find this build to be so amazing, and why I like it so much, between all the little things that it works with, like between the short bow knee pads, the Barrett procs, the MC gloves are beautiful, and then last but not least, we got Nimble, or you can go with the Colonel Bliss holster. My Colonel Bliss holster really isn't that good. You see it's under 900 armor. You see the stats 1146, 1127 electronics. That's just not, it's not my cup of tea, not my style. I like running mid-maxed everything, as you can see up here, where we got a 1271 roll on firearms, 1208 on stamina, and then 1263 with 994 armor and 4% crit chance. It doesn't get much better than that. It's pretty much picture perfect. But anyway, Nimble, everyone knows why Nimble is so OP. We all love Nimble.
Hostiles moving out.
Stand there, get crushed by a nade. It's like, oh, I'm under fire, I'm under fire. Take some cover real quick. That's all you gotta do. Boom, get my health back. Just like that. It's awesome. And if you also run that with tactical advance, you gain multiple amounts of DPS. It's a nice combo to run. Like, you can run it, when you run it with tactical advance and you gain health back, when you hit that, whatever you're taking cover on, you become an animal for a short 5 seconds there, where you can pretty much take down a grizzly bear, if you will. But anyway, that's a brief description of my build. Let me show you what mods I have in all these. I put health in everything. I put firearms, health. If you see the quick breakdown of why my firearms is like that, I have the my firearms is 8,000, my stamina is 3,000, my electronics is pretty much 4,000. I'll explain why I do that in a second when I show my gun, because I'll explain why I have Unforgiving where it's at and how everything works, and why I feel like this is the best way to go. But we have, and inside the mods, we got the firearms mods, and health. I put health on everything. Regardless where your pieces match up, I really don't put anything in the stamina. I put everything, one piece rolled in electronics, everything else in firearms. Doesn't really matter how you mix and match. And then I have all firearms mods in, as you can see with health. All firearms mods and one stamina, I believe, that I have absolutely perfectly rolled. Also, first aid self-heal mods in all the performance type. What do we got here? First aid self-heal, yeah, it's stamina and health. Firearms health, whatever you want to get to. I say 3,000 stamina is the perfect number, and then you either go 7,000 or 8,000 firearms, or 4,000, 5,000 electronics, whatever you want to do, flips and flop. I prefer it like this. This is my favorite way to run it. Anyway, let's break it down into the guns. I run a lightweight M4, max damage rolled almost, like 2 points away. We got responsive, adept, and competent. The reason why I feel this is so good and why I use it as my primary is because I pop a skill and I get the 7% and the competent and the 10% of competent at the same time. When you pop a skill, you'll see what you get up to here. That's just off a pulse. I'm sitting at 450, and then if you pop the booster on top of it, you're at 490 or 500. And you pop the tenacious, and you have 530. It's and then 364 toughness. I mean, I can't picture someone else getting better stats than this. Oh, anyway, let me explain how this works. So you run into combat, you pop a skill. You get the adept, you get the competent. You unload through everything, all your 64 bullets. If you don't happen to kill the guy, you switch your guns over. When you switch your guns over, you have responsive automatically unlocked, and you're most likely going to be taking damage. So you're going to have Unforgiving also procced, which is beautiful. I made this build to not reload your gun at all. You pretty much just weapon swap. And you weapon swap. By the time you weapon swap and you shoot him, if he's not killed, if everything comes back, you pop a skill again, get competent. But regardless, I only use the M4 for a long range at the start of 1v1s or when people are farther away, and then immediately switch to the MP5 when it's in hip fire within close range. But I personally love it. These are my favorite two guns in the game, by far. Both are pretty good rolled. I got competent, responsive, and unforgiving on the Navy MP5. It's my favorite 3 talents in the game. But the reason why I don't run Unforgiving at the top up here, first of all, it's very hard to get it. As you see, you have to get it in the bottom slot. If you ever look at Unforgiving on another gun, you would see that you cannot get it unless it's at the bottom slot, because you need to have, I have them on the bottom slot in every gun, you need to have 4,700 stamina to get it, which is, it's hard. In that meta, when you run the stamina, I just don't feel like it's worth it. If I show you real quick, like I'm going to show you, I'm going to add 1,500 stamina to the toughness, and watch my stats just drop. I gained 30k toughness to lose 30k DPS and 23k skill power. Electronics, I mean, stamina is just not worth it. It's just not. It just doesn't give you anything worth its buck. So that's why I run it like that, and that's why you have to have Unforgiving on the bottom slot, which is the most important. But running it like this does free up some space for Adept at the top slots, Competent at the top slots. It's pretty nice. That's why I designed it the way I designed it. Furthermore, the attachments on the guns. Alright, this is very important that you want to put on the assault rifles. Critical hit chance is very, very, very important. It's the most important thing in my opinion. So on my attachments, I run the critical hit chance on everything. Magazine size, rate of fire. I believe rate of fire is better than reload speed. Large optic sight, I run critical hit chance. I know a lot of people run critical hit damage, but I just think critical hit chance on the AR is the way to go. And then headshot and critical hit damage. Large muzzle, I use a loud vent brake. There was a God rolled one in the base like a month ago. I hope you picked it up, about like 20 of them. They all come like this, 19 crit damage, crit chance, and then headshot damage. I think it's the best muzzle in the game that they ever released. Large underbarrel, you just want to get critical hit damage. That's the most important thing. The other two stats really aren't too relevant. Onto the MP5. Alright, let me break down the M4 real quick while it's out. Let me show you what I was talking about, those stats. See how I have a 27% crit chance with my assault rifle with nothing going on. Then you pop a skill. You go back to that. It should have changed. There you go. 34.5% after you procs a little late. Then if you pop another skill, I don't know if you guys didn't know about this, it double procs. So you go up to 42%. Then, if you look at your pulse, oh crap, another 12%. So 42 plus 12, we're sitting at 54%. Max is 60%. That's on an assault rifle that has 25k base damage. On top of everything else that comes into it. When I pop a skill, it goes up to 27.3. When I pop a med kit and the booster, let me show you how high this thing really goes and what the capabilities really are of this. It's absolutely phenomenal, in my opinion, if you can get good with an assault rifle and a sub to run this build. Anyway, let me pop Tenacious for you. Let me pop the booster for you. Now look at this weapon damage on an assault rifle. 34k. On top of a 44.5% crit chance. With the pulse, that's 56% crit chance. You're sitting with a 34% or 34k base damage with max crit chance. It's just unbelievable, in my opinion, how it works. And it works sort of similar with the MP5. Very similar. Now let me explain with the MP5. We got, like I say, a Competent, Responsive, and Unforgiving on it. It sort of works the same way. I explained how I used it. So I pop Tenacious, pop the booster. This goes up to 30.5 as well. The only difference between this is I'm going to show you the attachments. We got the same magazine on it. The difference between this is the scope. Is I put the C9 scope because I put the critical hit damage because the submachine gun already has that base 22.5% crit chance. You don't need to put that extra 4% in there. So you get that extra 13% critical hit damage, which is more important because I'm already going to be over max when I pop all my skills and pulses, so I don't need that extra 4%. It puts me exactly at 60, which I'll show you in a second. So you rack the critical hit damage up. Same thing with the underbarrel. It's the same one I have on the M4. It's the God roll one you were able to buy. Same thing with the small underbarrel, the 20% Crit hit damage is the only thing important, really. Don't not put reload speed on it to buff your stats. It will not make you hit harder. It just inflates your DPS, in my opinion. And the way I designed this build is you just switch guns once and you should get a kill. And if not, you switch guns and then that guy definitely should be dead. If not, you're doing something wrong. Or just need to practice. Anyway, those are my attachments. On that now, let me break it down to, I use the pistol. Sometimes I use the R3 just because the Colonel Bliss holster, when you shoot it, it stacks 3 per shot. So, yeah, that's an obvious. Let's break it down into, what do I need to show you now? Oh, let's get to the MP5 stats exactly. You see how it has a 45.5% crit chance already with nothing going on? Then I pop the pulse. The pulse puts me at pretty much max. Then we got the critical hit damage is at 82 and headshot damage. I really don't pay attention to these numbers much. You want to just get as much as you can, but if you're missing some here and there, if you have your build up to par with the base damage and the crit chance, that should take care of the most. Your crit damage being astronomically high really isn't possible now because it's not really worth putting crit damage in anything on your gear. And even if you do, it's only 9% and you lose so much stats everywhere else, it really can't. So like, if you're at 100, anywhere between 60 to 100, you're fine with critical hit damage. It's a critical hit chance that's the most important thing, in my opinion. Furthermore, let's move on. Let me show you. I'll show you my max health, my armor real quick. And then I'll move on to my talents I run, and then we'll move on to the gameplay and the 1v1 video, and I'll show you me take down some of the top most known players in the game, and some 1v1s. And also you'll see how we do the lobbies. I stream pretty much 5 to 7 nights a week, 8 hours a day. When you see me on, I TeachMeHowTo at twitch.com. TeachMeHowTo_Ducky at twitch.com with one word. And we get like 15, 20 people on a server and just duke it out, do 1v1s, 4v4s, pickup games, whatever, you name it, we do it. Anyway, we got, let me show you my health stats. We got skill haste 0%, which I'm trying to work on that. For 4v4 situations against clans, you want to have skill haste on your holster and mask, but I'll get into that in a different video. My max health is 216, and my armor mitigation's only 32.5. I haven't really seen how the highest you were able to go, but the armor isn't as important as it was in 1.5. No, because you don't get as much out of it since it's not as high. Anyway, that's pretty much the whole build, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you guys clicking the link and coming to watch it. I hope you guys enjoyed the build video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay to follow. If you liked the video, please hit it with a like. Shoot me a sub. There'll be many more videos to come in the future. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone. Ducky out. Turn up, boys. Turn up.
here, bro.